Hey, John. Nate spoke about how the Bucks kind of showed you guys tonight that there's another level you're going to have to reach to beat this team. What do you guys need to do to reach that level and to respond to this loss?
Yeah, we just got to, up our level of competition of intensity. I feel like this is part of us growing, into the mature players that can handle, a championship run, as this is our first, not to make an excuse. But these are the type of things that happen, and it's on us to, improve and make adjustments.
Chris,
what do you feel like the Bucks did differently tonight to stop you guys on offense?
If anything, it was just the pressure. I feel like the pressure they applied to the ball. They're obviously a lot more aggressive and a lot quicker out in transition. But I just feel like the ball pressure at the point of screen was definitely a lot more intense.
As one of the vocal leaders of this team, like, what do you say to the guys after a game like this, and how difficult is it to erase a performance like this?
Yeah, I don't know if you could ever really necessarily erase it, but we can go back and learn from it and understand that this is, probably the same game plan for them coming next game. And that's the great thing, is that we have more games. We get to go back home and try this again. So, that's really my sentiment, or, my speech to guys, if I had one, is that, we got some games at home to try to bring this back.
All right, Royce.
Yeah, Trey talked a little bit about the aggressiveness that the Bucks kind of applied to him. What can you guys do to kind of counter that in game 3? Is it better screens? Is it more movement off the ball? How do you kind of counter that?
Yeah, I feel like, just first we just got to be more patient, and try not to just, give the team extra possessions. But I feel like, if anything, I just feel like, we need to have more movement just off the ball, giving guys outlets and, areas to catch the ball and try to create. So I feel like that's step one.
John, how good was it to see Cam get some minutes out there tonight, just with him being out injured for so long and finally just getting to get back on the court?
Yeah, one of the bright spots of the night for sure. I love seeing my brother get healthy, get back on the court, and try to get some minutes back under his legs. Obviously, playoff minutes, so it's a little different, but I'm happy nonetheless.
Is it encouraging at all, as tough as this loss is, you're still going back home and it's 1-1. You guys have kind of been in this exact same scenario the first two series, and you were able to win those.
Yeah, I'd say, it's comforting in a weird way to know that we've been through this situation twice now. Hopefully we can continue to capitalize as we've done, splitting this first game. But it's nice to just have a little bit of, struggle and toughness under our belt from the previous series. As I said, we're going to need that going into the next series. To finish out this series.
Let's go to Jeff Schultz.
John, I'm just wondering, it's rare that you're watching the whole game from the fourth quarter on the bench. What was going through your mind during that time?
I was just cheering on my guys. I feel like, one of my favorite things to do during a basketball game is to cheer for my teammates on the bench. I work out with those guys every single day, travel with them, and I was just cheering them on and trying to just, encourage my guys to keep their heads up for next game.
And then kind of along those lines too, when time ran out, I know all the guys on the bench were sort of shaking hands, and I think you went out and greeted the guys who came off the court and stuff. Could you just share what was being said during those exchanges?
Yeah, just words of encouragement, words of understanding, knowing that we have 2 more games to play at home before we come back here, and understanding that, it's not all bad. Although we did lose tonight in a way we none of us liked, we still did our jobs and split, and we can go back home, try to regroup.
Steve Hummer.
Hey, John, what do you think were the biggest factors in that first half that really knocked you backwards?
Really just turnovers, turn over the ball, offensive rebounding. 2 killers for anybody trying to win a game. Those are two tough things to deal with that we, necessarily weren't taking care of in the first quarter. And I definitely felt like it gave them some energy.
You've got to go back and relive this, watching tape and everything. How difficult is that going to be, do you think? And
always going to be tough. Watching film after a loss is always tough. But for me at this point, I sort of thrive in that, in learning how to get better from what they're doing. And as I said before, the good part about being in a series, you can watch and prepare for next game as we play the same team, and hopefully that gives us a little confidence.
Just a few more. We'll go to Patrick from ESPN.
Hey, John, when Giannis refuses to settle for jump shots and attacks the rim, what's the impact that has on your team on the court?
It just pulls our defense in more. Obviously he's a big threat down low in the paint, and it's tough to do a lot when he gets the ball down there. So, that's really it.
Jamila.
Hey, John. You
Well,
kind of mentioned this before, but the fan support, we've actually seen fans travel to the games on the road, and of course the fan support while you're at home. How impactful has it been to kind of have the city of Atlanta and beyond kind of stand behind and support you guys?
Oh, it's been amazing, and that's part of why I'm excited to go back home, is we haven't really had a chance to experience any of that energy that is still building from Atlanta after us moving on from last series and coming here. So we're excited to get back home, lay in our own bed, and try to regroup.
Thank you.
Final question from Davide.
Hey, John, as you said, you've been here before. You've been there before losing one. What did you learn about bouncing back? What do you guys need to do to bounce back and get the next game?
Firstly, it's a mental thing, understanding that, it's one game, and to sort of just remove it from the brain. Understanding that they've turned up their level of intensity, which means we need to turn up ours. And just learning from our mistakes and not making the same ones twice in a row.
Thank you, JC.
Thanks, y'all.